Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Shafiq and we are from Group 1. So our company is a real builders in Nurhan Bahad, which based on Johor Bahru that allocate at Skudai Johor. As known, our company is proficient specialization in concreting, steel frame system, charting construction work, tile installation, paint work, roof assembly, and formwork system. As our project at Shah Alam, which at Selangor, the site location area are not familiar for our project. So, we shall prepare a client requirement such as a company registration on CIDB, Suruhanjaya Syarikat Malaysia, ISO certificate, Pusat Khidmat Kontraktor which PKK Bumi Berterus status, CIDB procurement for grade G7, financial registration, water authority from Syarikat Air Selangor, Telecom from Telekom Malaysia, electricity from Tenaga Nasional that relevant to authorities' requirements for our site. This project at urban area which center of city, so we shall consider to get a permission from local land state which Jabatan Bangunan Majlis Perbandaran Selangor OSC of approval to build and enter the site. Also, evaluation of site being prepared under our insurance which is Tokyo Marine and a Fire Safety Division of Malaysia and Fire Rescue Department in our site evaluation form as one of our environment impact assessment EIA requirement.
The title of proposed project is Cadangan Membina satu blok 8 tingkat Bangsapuri kos sederhana yang mengandungi 122 unit kediaman termasuk satu tingkat podium tempat letak kereta berserta surau, Dewan Serbaguna, Pejabat Pengurusan dan Kemudahan Awam, satu unit pondok pengawal, satu unit spiral waste bin, satu unit pencawang elektrik TNB, satu unit spiral waste bin, 3 unit tempat letak motosikal berbumbung dan 1 unit wakaf. It is located at Subang Bestari, Section U5, Shah Alam, Selangor, Darul Ehsan. To get the amount value of tender, each work element for preliminaries, piling works, main buildings, auxiliary buildings, external work and infrastructure, prime cost sum and provisional sum has been calculated in the bill of quantities. The calculation roughly give amount of Rm 20,321,238 and 5 cents for the total sum including the M&E works. The estimation of the M&E works is 2.5 million which is 15% provision from the tender sum of the value of project. The total amount of contract sum after additional 6% of goods, services and tax is Rm 21,540,512 and 33 cents that conclude the value of contract sum of the project.
Here I am, Nakia. Method statements are very important when it comes to health and safety of the projects, particularly in construction industry. Method statements are the documents that detail exactly how to carry out work safely in order to ensure building health and safety. As for our project, we detail each activity to steps and allocate types of equipment that's suitable to use during the particular activity, not to forget the manpower that required to carry out those activities. As an example, for painting activity, our resource for manpower are skilled workers and general workers. The plant or machinery they need to use such as scaffolding, brush, roller and plastic paint tray. As for the method, they need to apply painting on both external and internal on all necessary elements such as wall, accordingly to the approved type and color of the paint that mentioned in bill of quantity. They need to make coating twice or more based on the requirement. Lastly, the inspection of wall by client or architect to obtain acceptance. In planning or resources allocation to details, we make a schedule where it tells how many labors and machinery that required to carry activity. We are referring the website to obtain information such as labor outputs, productivity rates, and production rates on the works as listed in the bill of quantities. For example, under work below lowest floor level excavation works, to reduce level, the output rate for an excavator is 50 meter cubic per hour. This information was extracted from the internet. Based on the output rate, we divided the total quantity of the excavation works with the output rate, which is 50 meter cubic per hour. From there, we managed to obtain the total days that will be taken to complete the excavation works. Factors that influence in planning resources schedule are the requirement of subcontractors for works that need expertise, such as piling works, as well as our company asset of resources such as labourers and plant or machinery.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Arifuddin bin Matasi. I'm from Group 1. I will tell about the master work program, that the duration of the whole overall project. So the duration for overall project is 666 days. Is include the external work, infrastructure, piling work, main building work, ancillary work, building. Okay, in the external work and infrastructure, there are the site clearance work, road work, surface water drainage, water reticulation system, sewage pipe and manhole, facing and gate. This is about the 115 days to be complete. Okay, so in the piling work, there are 3 work that include precast concrete work, hydraulic jack in pipe, pile testing. This piling work is be complete on 65 days. For the next is the main building. This main building is the main item for main work for the construction. So in main building work, WBLF is a work below level floor. It include the excavation, reinforcement work, formwork concrete, waterproofing and soil treatment. So in WBLF is a 138 days to be complete. For the frameworks is 100 days to be complete. There are framework, reinforcement work, formwork and concrete work. So for the upper floor construction, there are the 3 items. There are 45 days to be complete. Concrete flat roof is 48 days to be complete. For roof is 111 days to be complete. Is include the roof structure, rainwater disposal. For the staircase and ramps is about 64 days to be complete. This include plastering work, tiles installation work, concrete work, plaster coating, reinforcement and formwork. For the external work and external wall and railing, this is about 110 days to be complete. The item is cement and sand, bitumens, sand dries, reinforcement, concrete, door, ironmongeries and windows. For the finishes is 582 days to be complete. Is about this include for the wall finishes, for floor finishes and ceiling finishes. Okay, so the sanitary fittings is 58 days to be complete. Okay, and last is the auxiliary work. Okay, so the auxiliary work is the 5. This is 4 item to be construct. This is a refuse chamber, guard house, TNB substation, and wakaf. Okay, so the refuse chamber is about 150 days to be complete. It include external brick wall, door, windows, sanitary fittings, frame, roof, and work below floor level for the concrete work, reinforcement, and etc. For the guard house, is 142 days. This include the overall this item to be complete in 142 days. For the TNB substation is about 178 days to be complete. This include the floor finishes, wall finishes, door, internal brick wall, external brick wall, frames, roof. And for the last is a wakaf. Is a item of excavation and concrete work for the wakaf in 14 days to be complete.
Hi, my name is Fadisola binti Salet and I'll be explaining the part of risk assessment.
There are 5 steps of risk assessment. First is risk identification, which is identifying hazard and risk factors that have potential to cause harm. Second, risk determination, which is to identify the person or property who might be affected by the risk. The third is risk analysis, to analyze the risk probability, severity, and risk level according to the risk metric. The fourth is risk response, which is evaluating suitable response to be taken upon the risk. And the fifth is risk control, which is to determine the appropriate solution to eliminate to control the risk. The following are the risk identification and risk determination towards the project. As a summary, there are 7 potential risks, which is design risk, legal risk, financial risk, operational risk, performance risk, health and safety risk, and lastly, environmental risk. Those who are affected by the design risk are the client and also consultants, whereas legal risk affects client, landowners, and also the surrounding neighborhood. For the financial risk, it affects majorly on the client and shareholder sides, whereas for the operational and performance risk, the contractor are majorly affected by it. For the health and safety risk, both contractor and the surrounding neighborhood are affected, whereas the environmental risk, for the natural disaster, the contractor are affected, whereas the pollution reports, it affects the surrounding neighborhood. These are the risk metrics that we'll be following. Data analysis. I will briefly explain the average risk level of each potential risk. Designing risk and legal risk both are on the average risk level, as both probability and severity are 40% to 70% and 3 respectively. Financial risk is at the low average risk level. As of date, there are no financial issues. Operational risk and performance risk are on the medium average risk level, as majority of the activities are rated at severity 3 due to unforeseen circumstances that might take place, whereas the health and safety risk and environmental risk both are rated high average risk level, as both are crucial risks that might affect the construction duration the most by putting the project on hold once occurred. Risk response and control. I will briefly explain the response and its control measures for each potential risk. Designing risks are to be reduced by follow-ups and keep track with the designing team or consultant. Legal risks are to be avoided by avoiding any disputes, maintain comprehension documentation, and maintain or settle with neighborhood association. Financial risks are to be reduced by gaining an early or stable fundings, monitoring assets inflow and outflow, and avoid any non-compliance. Operational and performance risks to be reduced by weekly updates, follow-ups on resources, complying to quality standards, monitor performance, and allocate sufficient labor. Health and safety risks are to be avoided by holding fortnightly toolbox meeting and housekeepings, and also ensuring all workers are equipped with safety equipments and knowledge. Finally, environmental risks are to be reduced and avoided for natural disaster and pollution respectively. A project environmental are to be prepared as guidance for an emergency natural disaster, and a monthly inspection need to be made to be avoid any pollution.